Hi Mike, this is Steve Morimoto. I wanted to give you a quick video on that tip that I told you about on loading reels. Um, I was out of photography for about 10 years, and when I had to get my equipment, I bought some super cheap reels, and I had a hard time loading reels like everybody does, with the film bunching up and getting stuck inside. And I had read that to go ahead and get good reels. Don't waste your money and go ahead and spend the money on a good one. And I got these Hughes, and they really made a difference on ease of loading. I can't see much of a difference between the two. I don't know if the wire's a little thicker on this one or not, but it certainly goes on a lot easier. But I wanted to show you what I do to make sure that the film is loaded on correctly, so you don't get the film kissing each other and getting bad negatives. With the cheap one, on the inside there's a little wire that hooks onto your film that holds it in. And on the Hughes, they have a little plate here with a couple little teats that hold onto the sprocket holes, so it locks on very easily like this. So what I do is I roll on a couple revolutions, and the thing I wanted to show you is once it's on, if it's loaded properly, you will get this. You can see how the film moves back and forth inside. It's expanding inside between the reels. So as I go, I'll make a couple winds and then make sure that film is free inside. And it is much easier with the Hughes than it is with the cheap one, but now I can load the cheap one because I can verify whether or not the film is free inside. If you get a crinkle in it or you jump a track or something, and it's easy to do because you can't feel it inside the bag. If it's off, you'll notice the film doesn't move, it's jammed. So it can't move back and forth with inside the reel. So I'll back it out until I notice it's freed up. And then I can continue winding, and I double check every once in a while to make sure it's okay all the way to the end of the reel. The only thing is, when you do this initially, if you try and do that too soon with this particular one, if you only have a couple rolls on and you do this, it can come off those little teats things there. So once I figured that out, I've been able to use these, but it just took, unfortunately, one ruined roll of film. So with this one, oops. Much harder to get on. You have to get it underneath the wire, which is proof here. Naturally, you get your fingerprints all over the film, but once it's on and you start loading, even with the cheap reel, once I get it rolled on a couple rolls, it moves inside. And I can feel with this cheap one that it doesn't move quite as freely. There it goes. So even with a cheap one, it's harder to get started. But once you get started, as long as you have this freedom in here, you can even load the cheapies. But here I jumped the track real easy. and now it's jammed, it won't move. So I have to back out. Now I can feel it's free, and then keep going and just double check. But it also jammed again. So I don't know what it is about the Hughes. There's probably other ones that are higher quality, but you can. So you jumped the track there. So you're better off going with the better quality. I don't know what the difference is, but they work. I like the steel ones better because the canisters are smaller, they're easier to clean, they're easier to dry off and reuse when you're doing more than a couple rolls of film. With the Patterson, as you know, if it's still wet, it'll jam. And so I like these better. Hope that helps. See ya.